Madam Crampton then, because one of the key issues that we have to address is how do we adopt a responsible approach to AI in the workplace? And as we think about responsible, what would you describe as some of the elements that would need to be considered to make AI even more responsible?
Well, thank you so much for that question and the invitation to be here today. It's a real privilege to join you all. From my perspective, I think there are really two essential ingredients to doing AI well in the workplace. Organizations need to have a culture that promotes responsible innovation, and then they need to have a practice that actually implements that culture on a day-to-day basis. You know, I think culture is the critical ingredient here, because we need to make sure that we are asking the right questions here. AI is not a solution for everything. As optimistic as we are about the benefits of AI, we do need to ask questions about why AI is suitable for this particular use case and whether the technology is ready for any particular use case. You know, at Microsoft, we're fortunate to be able to have real leadership in setting the culture from the top of the organization. As far back as 2016, Satya Nadella, our CEO, really penned an article in Slate magazine in which he said, you know, actually the biggest challenges for AI are not the technical challenges. They're actually the challenges that are very real as to the incorporation of values into the way in which we build the technology. How do we get those timeless values into the technology? And we see that sort of mindset, that culture of responsible innovation brought forward today, where instead of using AI as an autopilot, it's really core to the way that we approach AI at Microsoft is to think of AI as a co-pilot. How can we combine the very best of humans and the very best of AI to meet the challenges that we have ahead? But one thing I've learned from my work within the company is that culture alone is not enough here. We actually have to put in place systems of governance to make sure that we are living up to our commitments. And those systems need to be at industry level. We need them at national governments. We also need them at the global governance level, which is why the work of the advisory body is so important to injecting that into the debate. You know, I've learned over time that we do need to have red lines in this space. Not all use cases are appropriate ones, particularly in the workplace. And so red lines need to be drawn. But then we also need to find ways to actually integrate lower risk use cases that really start to help worker productivity and can reduce some of the drudgery in day-to-day work. One of the processes that we've put in place at Microsoft, just to give you a flavour of what governance looks like in practice, is to try and separate out between those low-risk use cases and the higher-risk use cases that actually need further attention. We've also built tooling and other systems over time to make sure that the way in which we build AI products has governance baked in from the beginning. Finally, I would say that training is a critical part of getting this right, and we need to do that at scale. You know, not everyone has had the benefit of a professional education in ethics, and yet we need everybody to be turning their minds to the